Please join us in welcoming the senior senator from the state of Illinois, Dick Durbin.
Thank you. Thank you. How about that, Glenn Pichard? Great job, Glenn Pichard. We're proud of him, Joe. Let me start off by doing something which Glenn alluded to, and I want to make very specific. None of us in the Democratic Party would be successful today were it not for the support of organized labor across our state. I ask all our friends in organized labor, please stand up for a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Couldn't do it without you. We couldn't. Let me thank you from the bottom of my heart for sending me the best possible Senate colleague, Tammy Duckworth. Tammy, you're the best. Thank you. She is the voice of veterans. She is respected. When she speaks, people shut up and listen. She's earned it, and let me tell you, they never had a stronger person in the United States Congress to stand up for them. Thank you, Tammy, time and again for all that you do. I want to thank the County Chairman's Association here. You know, it wasn't that long ago, it was a pretty nice group that met quietly. Not anymore. When I called Speaker Pelosi and asked her to consider coming here, I said, you're about to attend the largest gathering of Democrats in the state of Illinois every year. Be proud of it. We did it again and broke another record. When the story of this moment in history is told, and we try to describe what we felt like during the presidency of Donald Trump, we will remember our endless conversations about his endless tweets, his childish bluster, his fits of adolescence. We will remember starting every day with Morning Joe and reaching a point we couldn't go to sleep until we heard Rachel. But when the history is written for our children to read, it will certainly recall one woman. The first woman in the 200-plus year history of America to be elected Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. She is a woman who was once vilified as a San Francisco Democrat, who happens to be the mother of 5, the grandmother of 9, who looked Donald Trump in the eye and dared him to preach to her about family values. Oh yeah, and she was once dismissed as a tax and spend Democrat. And then she turned around and fought Republican tax cuts for fat cats that dramatically increased the national debt that our children and grandchildren will have to pay. She is a progressive leader who never flinched, never backed down in calling Trump out for his slurs against African Americans, Hispanics, gays, women, immigrants, Muslims, the disabled community, Gold Star families, and for goodness sakes, even John McCain. Despite the hateful tweets of Donald Trump, this woman never backed down. She is a person who frightens this president so much, that he is afraid to give her a sarcastic nickname. Well, this president has always wanted a wall, and now he has one. When it came to trying to pressure Congress with the longest government shutdown in our history, What did Donald Trump run into? He ran into a wall called Nancy. When Donald Trump set out to eliminate health care for Americans with pre-existing conditions, what did Donald Trump run into? He ran into a wall called Nancy. When he tried to divide Americans by race, religion, gender, family origin, and sexual orientation, what did he run into? A wall called Nancy. And when he attacked 4 members of the House of Representatives, 4 women of color, and told them to go back where he came from, what did he run into? A wall called Nancy. And when Donald Trump and his lapdogs in Congress run for re-election, what are they going to run into? A wall called Nancy. Yes, Donald Trump has finally found his wall. I saw Nancy Pelosi, then Speaker, in what may have been her finest hour. It was a period in history almost 10 years ago, and we had just passed in the United States Senate by a mere 60 votes, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. 60 votes. And then that great American and great friend of mine, Teddy Kennedy, passed away. We were down to 59 votes, and we lost the special election in Massachusetts. And what it meant was the bill we had passed in the Senate had to pass word for word in the House of Representatives. It was a tough, tough challenge. There's only one person I've ever seen in the time I've served in Congress who could have risen to that challenge, and it was Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She brought together the Democrats in the House, passed that measure, and it made a difference. Let me tell you the difference it made right here. In our state, half of the people who were uninsured and had no health insurance finally had health insurance, many a times the first time in their lives. And almost 1 million of our neighbors and friends in this state of 12.5 million have health insurance today because of the Affordable Care Act. They want to call it Obamacare, be my guest. Proud of the fact that President Obama cared enough to make sure that it passed. Now, there's work to do. The only perfect law was carried down the side of a mountain on stone tablets by Senator Moses. We can make this law better, and we will. We can extend coverage, make it more accessible and affordable, and we will. Once you give Tammy and me a Democratic-controlled United States Senate. Are you going to help us do that? We will be inspired in that effort by what happened in the House of Representatives. I salute my friend Sherry Bustos, Robin Kelly, Lauren Underwood, Sean Casten, and soon to be my Congressman Betsy Dirksen Londrigan. And we ask ourselves this basic question: why does Nancy scare this president so much? He knows that she is strong where he is weak. And at the core of her being, Nancy knows who she is, and more importantly, who we really are as Americans. She is the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Nancy D'Alessandro Pelosi, and she is my friend. Loretta and I welcome Madam Speaker Pelosi here to Springfield, Illinois.